Did you know that sometimes the very thing that you are intimidated by actually fears you? The giant you're afraid of may be carrying fears, pressures, and weaknesses that you can't see. Are you facing impossible odds? Did you know that underdogs have secret advantages? If there's one thing I'd like you to take away from this video, it's this. Being an underdog does not guarantee victory every day. Sometimes the underdog gets knocked down. Sometimes the scoreboard is not fair. Sometimes the giant appears to win the battle. But history shows us that the most dangerous underdogs are not the ones who never fall. They're the ones who refuse to stay down. Why would a giant spend so much energy trying to intimidate someone who poses no threat? The very fact that a giant feels the need to make you doubt yourself may reveal something important. They already see your potential, and deep down, they fear you. So, are you facing impossible odds? Here's why you will win. Stay tuned as I break it down for you. Welcome to my channel. My name is Angie Marie, and today I want to remind you that being the underdog is not a weakness. It may be the very thing that gives you an advantage. Maybe you've never thought about it this way. Maybe you've always assumed the giant is a powerful one, the fearless one, the one standing with complete confidence. But what if that's not the full story? What if giants are often the ones carrying the most fear? What if the giant standing in front of you isn't nearly as confident, secure, or invincible as it appears? Today, we explore the secret reasons giants fear underdogs and what that means for every giant you may face. Whether those giants show up as fear, illness, debt, rejection, or impossible odds. Once you understand this, you will never look at challenges the same way again. I want to make a special request to you if you have not yet subscribed. Honestly, it's only a very small percentage of people who constantly watch my videos that actually subscribe. So I want to invite you to go ahead and subscribe if you have not yet done so. Let's turn things around here. I appreciate you watching, but it does help the channel when you actually subscribe. Thank you so much for doing that. I really appreciate you. Why would a giant ever fear an underdog? That question changes everything we think we know about power, success, competition, and even life itself. Because this isn't just about football. It's about every challenge that looks bigger than you. It's about debt, illness, rejection, disappointment, fear, and those moments when the odds seem stacked against you. It's about understanding why history is filled with giants that looked unbeatable until they were not. If you've ever felt underestimated, overlooked, or overwhelmed by something bigger than you, this video is for you. Never confuse someone's attempt to make you feel small with proof that you are. When a giant can't defeat your spirit, they often try to defeat your confidence. Because if they can convince you that you're small, they may never have to face your full potential. That's why giants don't rely on strength alone. They use intimidation. They use reputation. They use pressure. They use fear. The battle is not always about defeating the underdog. Sometimes it's about convincing the underdog that they were never a threat in the first place. But think about that for a moment. I recently met a beautiful woman who shared something unexpected. I was drawn by her radiance, her smile, the colors she was wearing, and as I usually do, I did make some comments on that. I said, "Wow, you look beautiful. I hope you're having a great day." After I complimented her confidence, her style, and the way she carried herself, she told me she had been battling cancer and had undergone multiple surgeries. She was dealing with a giant. She was handling cancer. She's a fairly young woman, 42 years old. She had already had 2 double mastectomies, and as she spoke to me, as I listened to her, tears flowed down her cheeks. She said to me, "I really appreciate you saying what you said to me because It has been very challenging. She is the third person that I've been in touch with recently who have been sharing with me their fight with this monster cancer. The thing I noticed though about all of them is that they have not allowed this giant to defeat them. I noticed their mindset. I noticed the fact that they fight in spite of the obstacles, that they're not focused so much on the obstacle itself, but rather they're focused on the treatment. They're focused on what they need to do better, to improve their health, to keep going, even though it has been so difficult. As she thanked me for the encouragement, in that moment, I was reminded that some of the biggest giants people face are completely invisible. And that conversation inspired this video. And if you're facing any sort of challenge today, I want to take this moment out to let you know that you are an overcomer, that you are a survivor, and that you got this. Stay well, stay focused, stay positive. Let's overcome. The first reason giants fear underdogs is because giants carry pressure while underdogs carry freedom. Giants are expected to win. They carry history, reputation, expectations, and the fear of losing everything they've built. Underdogs don't carry that burden. They have nothing to protect and everything to gain. That's what makes them dangerous. If you're someone interested in biblical stories, I'd say that David was not protecting a legacy, but Goliath was. The same thing happens in sports. When a smaller nation faces a football powerhouse, the pressure is usually on the giant, not the underdog. The giant fears embarrassment, but the underdog sees opportunity. The second reason giants fear underdogs is because underdogs focus on what they have instead of what they lack. Most people spend too much time staring at the size of the giant. They focus on the debt instead of the skills they can develop. They focus on the diagnosis instead of the treatment plan. They focus on obstacles instead of opportunities. David didn't defeat Goliath by becoming someone else. He used what was already in his hands. The question isn't whether you have everything you need. The question is whether you're fully using what you already have. Focus on what you can control: your effort, your attitude, your preparation, your faith, your character, your next step. Now take the example of the Ghana Black Stars. The first time that team faced the World Cup, they made it to the round of 16. And on their second occasion, they made it to the quarterfinals. This year, Haiti, that has not been on the global stage in World Cup soccer for 52 years, will take on Brazil, the giant Brazil, which has a dynasty and power for almost 100 years. Ghana will also take on England. These teams are considered giants and underdogs. But let's see the outcome. Ghana, seen to be an underdog in 2006 and then later in 2010, their first and second World Cup football matches, Ghana on its first occasion made it to the round of 16 by applying these principles. Ghana was not focused on Brazil or other countries that have a dynasty and been in soccer for years upon years. No, Ghana went there prepared and focused on what they had, not thinking about what the giants had. Likewise, Haiti goes in the tournament this year after not being there for 52 years. Haiti is going in there focused with a plan and not intimidated by any of the giants that are there, with confidence, with faith, with the support of the community, and intending to do the best they can. The third reason giants fear underdogs is because underdogs are often prepared by battles nobody sees before. Earlier battles build confidence, courage, and experience. The same principle applies to all of us. Before someone pays off a mountain of debt, there are smaller financial victories. Before someone achieves a major goal, there are countless unseen days of preparation. Before someone becomes strong, there are struggles nobody applauds. And likewise, before the World Cup starts, there have been friendly matches that our teams participate in. For example, Haiti participated participated in a friendly match with New Zealand and won that game 4-0. Now that is gonna boost their confidence. Giants fear underdogs because they don't always know what those previous battles have produced. They see the person standing in front of them, but they don't see the resilience that was built behind the scenes. The fourth reason giants fear underdogs is because some giants are invisible. The woman I met looked confident, radiant, and full of life. Nobody looking at her would have guessed the battle she was fighting. The strongest people are often carrying burdens nobody else can see. We see the smile, but not the pain. We see the confidence, but not the struggle that created it. We see the victory, but not the sacrifices behind it. So never assume someone's life is easy simply because they carry themselves well. Some of the most courageous people you'll ever meet are quietly fighting giants every single day. The fifth reason giants fear underdogs is because underdogs understand that victory usually happens one day at a time. Most giants are not defeated in a single dramatic moment. Debt is reduced payment by payment. Healing happens day by day. Relationships are built conversation by conversation. Goals are achieved step by step. The woman I met didn't overcome her challenges in one afternoon. She kept showing up. She kept moving forward. She kept choosing hope. That is how most giants fall. Not through one grand act, but through hundreds of small acts of courage repeated over time. So why do giants fear underdogs? Well, because underdogs have freedom while giants carry pressure. Because underdogs focus on what they have instead of what they lack. Because underdogs have been prepared by previous battles. Because some of the strongest people are fighting invisible giants. And because underdogs understand the power of taking one step at a time. If you're watching this video and you're feeling that people have made you feel as if you are less in various ways, I want you to take heart and understand these principles, apply these principles, and focus on them. The next time you face a giant in your own life, don't focus on how big it is. Focus on what is already in your hands. Remember the battles you have already survived. Take the next step, then another, because history is filled with people, teams, and nations that were underestimated until the day they proved everyone wrong. And often the thing giants fear most isn't strength. It's an underdog who refuses to quit. Thank you so much for spending these moments with me. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, I invite you to go ahead and subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, and share it with anyone you feel needs the encouragement. We are currently in the World Cup season. May the best teams win. I'm hoping you'll see the result that you're looking for, not just in sports, but also in your personal life. This is Angie Marie, and let us meet again soon in the next video.